Hey, I'm Meredith.
And I'm Stefanie. And welcome to This Is My Circus.
That was beautiful.
It was. We got on the first take. That was great.
Yeah, yes.
Yes.
We're doing something different today, and I am struggling with this early morning recording.
Yeah, so because just life happens, as we talk about all the time, I'm recording at like 7:30 in the morning, and Meredith is still sleeping.
Yes. So it's supposed to be 7, but starting at 7:30, which as per our usual, I'm so sorry. So,
it's all good. Well, Jay had a big weekend.
He did have a big weekend. So we had a basketball tournament here in Clover for his AAU team. And the season's winding down. So there's Jackson's team, and then there's another team in his same age group. And then there's the 7th grade team. And we always try to go and support all the teams when we can. Well, everything was right here on the Clover High School campus. So for those that don't know, it was very nice. So there's the 9th grade gym, the main gym, and then there's an old gym in there, which is kind of through a little bit of a maze. The maze is closed because they're doing some construction. So actually have to enter that through a different entrance. So everything's different entrances. So it was insane because so Saturday, the team Brian coaches, which is not Jackson's team, played at like 9:20 and 2:40 or something like that. And then Jackson's team played at 4 and 6. So that was an all-day thing. And I mean, it's okay, but it's exhausting.
Yeah.
And then Sunday, it was Jackson's team played at 8, 12, and 4. They made it to the championship and they lost by 2. It was heartbreaking.
Awful.
But in the middle of that, we got one of Brian's games in between there. And then they didn't have the AC on properly in the gym. I guess it's on like a summer. And I think some of our kids are sick right now with exhaustion and dehydration because they're like headaches, body aches. I think body aches are just because they played 5 freaking games of basketball, but just like some vomiting. Like I think that, sorry, TMI people, but I was just drenched. Yeah. And that is just a terrible feeling. And you had to either walk all the way around the school, which is not a big deal.
But it's 95 degrees out yesterday.
It was very hot and very hot both days. So, I mean, you could even get in the car and drive around. That's fine. But your car's, hot.
200 degrees.
It was just, and it was great to have it local. We have great facility when the air is working properly. But everything's so spread out. It wasn't like a convenient walk across a hall kind of gym. Yeah. I need to check my steps. So I'm making up for it by having this, I call it a Mocha Floca Waka Flocka from McDonald's. It's like their version of a Frappuccino.
Well, I've been up since 4:30 because we have to do our newsletter and everything on Mondays. So I got all that done this morning. And so I've already had like a cup and a half of coffee. And now I'm on my fantasy vibe, sparkling mandarin orange marshmallow.
Oh, orange and marshmallow?
Yes.
Okay.
It's like creamsicle vibes, kind of.
Yeah, totally.
It's really good. So, I love these Celsius things.
Oh, yeah.
But again, caffeine doesn't really affect me anymore. It just, I don't know.
I think it's a mental thing. Like if I have it, I feel like I can wake up a little bit easier.
I saw a TikTok and there was a girl and I guess if you don't drink caffeine all the time, but I've been drinking coffee since college and it just doesn't affect me. It's this super young girl on TikTok and she's like in tears. Did anybody check the Celsius drink for meth? Because I drank it 5 hours ago and I can't.
Oh my gosh.
And I was like, girl, that's nothing.
Yeah. Calm down. Have another, Becky. You'll be fine.
So it was funny. It was,
Well, so I've lost my voice because of hollering.
Yes.
We had a couple kids get injured. They'll be okay. But it just, it takes some mental from you when you're worried about the kids. But poor kids had football practice this morning at 7.
Oh.
So they're supposed to be in the gym ready to go at 7. And I pulled in the parking lot at 2 till. It's like, Jay, get your stuff. You're ready. I said, can you make it in by 7? He was like, that's not a problem. He said, I got to have my stuff up and my shoes on by 7. I was like, whoa. So I'm excited to work today so I can sit down. In a padded office chair. Yeah.
Well, Dylan, wanted to go to the 9th grade academy to play lacrosse yesterday. Because he's been trying to get out there for like a couple hours every day.
Absolutely.
And so I went grocery shopping.
Yeah.
I dropped him off and went grocery shopping. And so I was like, I'll text you when I'm done. Like usually it takes about an hour or whatever. And so I text him. I'm like, hey, are you ready to come home?
Mm-hmm.
Are you ready for me to pick you up? He's like, bring me a really cold drink.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, I'm ready. And so I go, and like, he looked like he's going to pass out. Like it was just so hot yesterday. And in that beaten sun, like it is brutal. So I had brought him, body armor and a water. Yeah. And he chugged the water right away. Yeah. And then we got home and he's like, you need help bringing in the groceries? I'm like, if you don't feel good, just go cool down.
I'll give you a pass this time.
But he still helped me.
Of course he did. Of course. So, I enjoy, like, if I'm on a cruise or in the Bahamas, I want it to be hot where I can enjoy it. But at home, it's just, I worry about taking the dogs out. Yes. And because ours have those smushed up faces and have trouble breathing. Yeah.
I walked him at 6 this morning, so it wasn't hot out.
And he's, poor Rex is already like, he's taking his first nap.
Well, we walked like almost 2 miles this morning. Mile and like 3/4. So
that's so good though. I'm glad you did that. And also so that doesn't get hot outside on his little paws.
Well, I use that Musher Secret on his paws.
Tell me about that.
It's like a wax almost.
Protected kind of?
Yeah. So I guess it was like originally made for snow. Yeah. For Alaska dogs. Mm-hmm.
That makes sense.
Yeah. And so I don't know how well it works, but I hope it helps.
I'm sure it does. He's totally unbothered.
Yeah. He's just happy he has a home.
Well, but he is the best boy.
We just hit our 2-year I Gotcha Rex anniversary. So that went really quick, but yeah, he's, if you're watching the video, we'll keep looking under the table because that's where he's laying.
Yeah, he is. We can't keep our eyes off of him.
We are recording in a different location, so he can't see himself on screen, which he normally likes to do, but he's good.
If I look like that, I'd want to see myself on screen all the time.
I know, me too.
He's so pretty. He's such a good. So yesterday, I missed some of Brian's game. I came home real quick because we only live like 3 miles from the high school. Yeah. And I let our dogs out and let them run and, going to get some water and stuff. So I just had the hose like going and let them just drink it and run and drink and get wet. Yeah. And then I just put them back up because I was like, okay,
do they like to get wet?
2 of them do. One of them is like, I'm good. I'll stay inside.
Yeah. It's so weird because when we go to the Clover Park, they have that pond there and he always wants to get into the pond, which is like super gross. Like I don't do like the whole stagnant water thing is just disgusting to me. But but he won't get in our pool. And I think it's because of the chemical smell.
Oh, but maybe.
I'm assuming. But he follows me everywhere and he will not get in the pool. And we've got like the little sun shelf, like almost like a pool inside the pool. Yeah. And he won't get in it.
I was going to ask if it was steps or if it was like a beach entrance, but having that sun shelf.
Yeah. There's like 1 step and then it goes to the sun shelf. And then there's like
just
3 steps to get into like the regular pool part.
Yeah. I had gotten several years ago, like a kiddie pool for ours, thinking they would at least like get their feet in and whatever. But no. I don't know why, but if I'm trying to water something outside or if I turn the hose on, they go nuts.
Well, unless it's the winter, bathe him outside.
Yes.
And so he hates the hose because he does not want to get.
Bless him.
But he does. He'll sit there and be good.
Well, of course he will.
Yeah.
Of course he will.
So I told you that I went grocery shopping yesterday.
Yeah.
Groceries are just crazy expensive anymore.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Not that this is healthy at all, the Celsius drinks, but
let me chug my whipped cream and chocolate.
So I follow like this lady on Facebook, and she is a doctor, but she does a lot of juicing.
Oh yeah.
And all the benefits of the juicing and whatever. So I ordered a juicer. It should be here tomorrow.
Okay. I love the juice.
Yeah.
I just hate the cleanup of it.
Yeah. Well, Dylan loves it. I've just been doing it with a blender right now and using like the cheesecloth to
strain
it or whatever. But Dylan, he likes the vegetable ones. Like he likes, he's like all about it. Brandon is too. So
yeah, good.
So my regular grocery bill, got all and it's not that expensive considering I guess I don't know. It is. I need to like go to Aldi's or something.
Yeah. I think I need to invest in the drive to Aldi's to get some. Maybe we should carpool.
Yeah. And then, right next to Aldi's is also that Lidl or
Lidl, so whatever. Yeah. I've never been in that one.
It's very similar. Yeah. But they've got like some really cool stuff in there, like non-food stuff.
Yeah. I like juicing too. Jackson used to drink it. I don't know. I mean, he'll try things now, but he won't just like chug it. But I would like that too.
Yeah. Brandon want to make it like V8 or whatever. First of all, like that's gross to me. Like, I like the fruity ones.
Well, and you can figure out which vegetables will make it sweet. Like carrots make things really sweet. Yeah. And my iron's kind of low sometimes, so I'll just throw a handful of spinach in there. Yeah. All that kind of stuff. So it's good.
And I don't eat breakfast ever. And so I've been using that for breakfast. Yeah. Trying to, with my thyroid problems and all that, all the health stuff run into as you get older. Oh.
Like can't sit on bleachers anymore.
Dude, I got the best bleacher chair ever.
I have one. And I'm so busy, like, I ran out of the wrap yesterday and pre-wrap because, like, seriously, like 4 ankles. 2 kids are going to orthos today because of ankles. Like, I ran out of stuff. Yeah. Because I'm always trying to make sure I've got all that and some snacks and some water and Motrin. I do my very best to make sure that we got what we need. Yeah. So, I forgot my chair. I know. I know. It's okay. It's my own.
It's a long day.
Well, and I would have wanted to carry it from gym to gym anyway. And as much running around as you do with those things, I do good with my book bag.
Well, I got 2 I think I got them on Zulily. Mm-hmm. They were like 60 or 70% off, but there's a ton of padding on it. And then there's like a back. Yeah. And it's like a circle. So like
nice.
It's wide and
it gives you a buffer. It has a built-in buffer. Mine does have the back on it. So that's nice. But I've seen some super fancy ones.
Well, they were only like $25 each. Yeah. And so I was like, well, that looks comfortable. Yeah. And so I got those and they work great. Yeah. And they're super light, like considering how big they are. Yeah, they're super, super light.
Good. Yeah. Yeah, you.
Sometimes.
It's always a win when you find something like it's that good of a deal that you'll use too.
So our book.
I don't want to talk about it. But I mean, I know we have to, but I feel like we need to give 1,000 trigger warnings.
Yeah. Trigger warning.
Pedophilia, suicide. Yeah. And rape. Yes.
I didn't like this book.
I didn't like this either. So this book was called Saving Noah. Yeah. And it's by Lucinda Berry. Yes. Trigger warning for all those things. Do you have our
the blurb? Yeah. It makes me sick to just read it though.
I know.
Meet Noah, an A honor roll student, award-winning swimmer, and small town star destined for greatness. There weren't any signs that something was wrong until the day he confesses to molesting little girls during swim team practice. He's sentenced to 18 months in the Juvenile Sexual Rehabilitation Center. His mother, Adrian, refuses to turn her back on him despite his horrific crimes, but her husband won't allow Noah back in their home. In a series of shocking and shattering revelations, Adrian is forced to make the hardest decision of her life. Just how far will she go to protect her son? Saving Noah challenges everything you think you know about teenage sexual offenders. It will keep you up at night long after you've read the last page, questioning your beliefs you once thought were true. I felt nauseous reading this. Yeah. I think I texted you and I wasn't even done. Yeah. So I'm going to give you my thoughts first. Okay. 1, this is not our typical book. Like,
right. Right. This was not a pleasure read for me. No. And that's how I like to read. Yes. Or to expand my mind and this did not reach any of that.
Well, it gave you a different point of view on the situation.
And it did. And I guess it did make me think of things that I wouldn't have, but I didn't want to think about those things.
Yeah. It was written really well. And I think the take on the topic was done as well as it could be. Right. It wasn't super graphic.
It was not graphic. Yeah. So, and I kept waiting for that.
Me too.
But it was very high level. Yes. With what happened with Noah. Yeah. But so basically the whole book is just about after his confession of this horrific thing to how the family is affected.
Right. And I touched on this last week when we talked about the bullies and like how you immediately want to defend and you want to like your child, right? Regardless of what they've done. Yeah. Even when it's like undefendable. And I think that this is one of those times where I think she was not blind, because she acknowledged it and she did what she thought was right.
Right.
And she thought it was just going to be swept under the rug because it wasn't a full, it was horrible and horrific. And
it was right. And punishable.
Yes.
Absolutely. But it was a very, I don't even know how to word it, but I know what you're trying to get to.
He didn't fully do what
he did not. Well, we said trigger warning for rape, so he did not rape anyone.
Yes,
there was just very inappropriate touching, apparently, with two under 10-year-old girls.
Yeah, I think there were 8. Yeah,
so that was his offense.
I commend him for knowing immediately it was wrong and wanting to be punished for it and wanting to get help for it. Right. I don't commend him for what he did, obviously. It was horrible, horrific. But you hear so many times that people don't think what they're doing is wrong.
Right.
But he knew it was wrong.
Well, and even before that point, he knew that he had this feeling and he did not want to act on that. And so he tried to keep himself in situations away from that. And I'm not excusing.
No.
But he was put in this situation in an environment where he was exposed to a lot of children. And
I think he was like 16, 17.
Yeah. So he had the forethought to know,
this is wrong.
I don't want to do this. I feel like I want to do this, but I'm going to keep myself away from the situation. He tried to,
knowing in his head it was wrong.
He tried to remove himself to ever be in that atmosphere. And then he was put in that and happened.
And he truly wanted to be rehabilitated. He truly wanted to follow the program. He thought that this was going to work.
Yeah. He did not want to be this person.
No, I'm like so conflicted as a mom to be put in her place. God, I would.
I know it's hard to even.
But it showed the effect on the entire family. It showed the effect on the community.
Yeah,
how the community and I don't blame the community for how they reacted.
Right. No, totally. And at the beginning of the book, I don't blame the dad for wanting distance. Well, at the beginning of the book. Yeah. Wanting distance because they have a younger daughter who's the same age as those girls. So she's 7, 8.
Yes.
So they are trying to put distance between the daughter and Noah. I don't blame him in that moment for that. Until we get later in the book.
Yeah.
And some spoilers maybe.
Yeah. I think, listen, y'all, I cannot recommend this book.
I wouldn't either.
So if you decide to read it, we're going to give some spoilers.
Yeah.
Only because I don't feel like our listeners would appreciate.
Agreed.
You might appreciate it. I'm not telling you don't read it.
Right.
It
is a different perspective.
Yes.
I mean, read it if you want to, whatever, but we're going to talk about it.
Okay. Yeah. We're going to just get into it. And there's going to be lots of spoilers.
So the dad ended up being an offender.
Yes. I'm like, well, did he abuse his children? Like we don't get any of the backstory for that. So the entire book, like they keep saying like his perspective or him or, something like that. Like where like the guy starts talking from his perspective. And the whole time you think it's Noah, but the whole time it's really the dad from when he was younger. With this shock, you didn't catch that?
I did not.
Yeah, those were his memories from a shock treatment that he was getting in the facility to the kids being abused in the showers at the facility. That was all the dad.
I did not catch that.
Yeah.
Because like you said, it did go back a little bit and back and forth in the present. And I did the audiobook. I might have missed it because of that. But okay. So some of those were from
every time it said like him.
Right.
It was the dad from when he was younger.
I thought they were Noah's.
So did I until the very end when he was like going back to the shock treatment therapy, which they don't do anymore.
Right.
So that was like a kind of like a mind
F.
Yeah.
Right. So we don't know why the dad was.
So he hated Noah because he felt himself.
Right. And I mean, again, this book did a good job of letting you know where things were without getting too graphic.
Yes.
So we don't know why the dad was in this facility, if he actually was at that point like Noah and not wanting to commit these things, or if he had, and he was getting quote treatment.
Yeah.
But so
So then, like the dad had told Noah, just pack your stuff, go across country. Don't ever contact us again. I will fund everything for you until you're 21 or whatever.
Yeah.
But do not come back. Do not contact your mom or your sister. Just get out of here. I think from what I got from the story, that's what he did. When he got out of that facility, he just took off to start over. When
you were saying that, I was trying to think back. Do we ever get any information from Noah's grandparents? So the dad's parents, so that side of the family, I don't think we got that deep. No. So yeah, you're probably right. That's probably what he did he was probably kind of, I'm going to infer bought off from his family to do that. Yeah. So he was just.
Yeah. So I hated this book. Again, it was written really well for the subject. And then I'm like, okay, so like my mind goes to why would this, God forbid, I hope I hate that this happens at all.
Yeah.
So I looked up her other books, and a lot of her other books are in this
genre.
Yeah. And I'm like,
topic. They're,
it makes it hurts my heart.
Yeah. And honestly, we're interested in things that we, but this is one that I'm not interested in. But there must be people that, there's therapists that specialize in this kind of thing. So I guess there's people that look at it in a way to grow. But can we talk about, and then we really need to get on to something else. Yeah. But can we talk about the end of the book?
Yeah.
So basically what happens is Noah has this heartfelt conversation with his mom, Adrienne.
After he tried to commit suicide twice.
Yes. About, I don't want to be like this. The only way I cannot be like this is to die.
Yeah.
And she's a nurse, right?
Yes, but she was not practicing.
Yeah. But she had the
history. Degree. Yeah.
So he wanted to die and have her assist in his death.
Yes. So she wanted to make it as painless as possible. She didn't want him to feel any pain. She didn't want to be alone. And I cried during this part of the book.
And she did not readily agree to this. Obviously.
She did research.
Yes. She had to do a lot of soul searching, I'm sure, but she did not want him in pain physically or mentally. She could tell, but y'all know where we're coming from. We're not trying to stand up for these people or it can even understand this at all, but she did not want her child to be in mental anguish or physical pain.
And she could see that he was he was going to continue trying until he succeeded.
Yes. And because he tried to jump out the window.
He hung himself out from the window. And then he also tried to overdose.
Yeah. So she ends up assisting him with that.
Yeah. I cried.
I was terrible.
I cannot. And then his playlist. Oh my God. I know. I can't. We need to move on.
Okay. I'm fine with that.
I can't recommend this book. It's not something I would ever on my own read. Mm-hmm. And that's what's so great about our book list, I think, is because we do read stuff that we don't know about.
Yeah.
But this book I could have done without.
Totally.
But again, written really well. It was done as
tactfully
as you could.
But just not a topic I'm
comfortable with for me. To say the least. So moving on from that, our next book is called All the Missing Girls. Yes.
And it's Megan Miranda.
Yes. And I did start reading it.
Okay.
So
Hoopla?
It's on both.
Okay, cool.
I think there's a waiting list.
Okay.
I'm not sure if there's a waiting list right now.
I'm excited about, I say that every time I'm excited about it. I just like to read, so I'm excited about books. So something else, if you have recommendations, we've gotten several book recs, so please send those in. We'd love to add your favorites or something you're interested in to our list.
And we're open to, again,
everything. I like to be introduced to things that I wouldn't just find by scrolling on Kindle's free books.
Yeah.
I did finish the Holly Madison book.
Did you like it?
I did like it.
I wanted to wait until you were done reading it. When you were saying how they talk about their conflict with Kendra on the podcast, the whole book, you're reading it and you're like, oh, they're friends. What the heck? Where did it go wrong?
Yeah.
And then you get to that last 2 chapters or whatever of the book. And it tells how it all went wrong.
Yeah. It was, I liked it. I liked it from her perspective. And again, this is one that she reads first person on the audiobook. Yeah. So that I like that if it's a biography and they're doing that. It was, when you think of, I don't know how many people out there think of, the Playboy Mansion, probably everybody, right?
Yeah. Well, if you're our age, like that was like a big thing when we were.
Oh, yeah, it was like a huge status thing. Like everybo's getting the Playboy bunny tattoo or whatever.
Or like the little stickers.
The stickers, which in your hand. Yeah. I mean, you think of just all this opulence.
Yeah.
And just fancy whatever. And her perspective is that it was not.
No, it was pretty gross.
I mean, not just for all the bodily fluids.
Yeah. No, it was bodily fluids from animals.
Yeah. Yes. All the dogs that nobody took care of. And
so, but then, what I thought was super interesting was like, you think that mansion was Hugh Hefner's. So she spilled the beans saying that he did not own that mansion. It was owned by Playboy itself. And he had to rent the rooms.
That's crazy to me.
That is bananas.
I know. And it was what, like
$10,000
or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. We're throwing numbers out. I was thinking 25,000.
Well,
it depended on the room.
The room size.
Yeah. Yeah. So he just rented the rooms from Playboy. So that was definitely interesting to me. There was a lot of things in there that I was like, no.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
I don't know. And I think a lot of it was, back when they were doing the show, a lot of the hype was about which ones of his girlfriends were real girlfriends and which were not. And some of the stuff they got into, I was like, no way.
Yeah, I know.
I would recommend that book.
I would too. Yeah, it was called Down the Rabbit Hole.
Yes, yeah. And she's got another book too.
She does, Vegas Diaries.
Have you done that one?
I have not, but it's on my list.
Okay. I enjoyed hearing though her, because she was kind of a little bit of a rags to riches.
Yeah.
So I enjoyed hearing that and how hard she worked to pay off her assets.
Yes. Which are now insured for $1 million.
$1 million. That's $7,000 investment that she put definitely in worth it for her. Just what she did next and that kind of thing. I thought that was a good one. So I liked that. Did you just make money?
I did.
Nice.
I love that sound.
I know, that's a good sound.
Ka-ching.
Ka-ching. I am reading another book though, because I finished that one so early because I think I can get through that one.
Yeah.
And I'm reading one that just came up on, I don't know how I found it, but it's called Local Woman Missing.
I saw that. I haven't read it yet though. Yeah.
But I just looked at, it's by Mary Kabucha or something like that, like a tea. But it's from the best-selling author of the other Mrs. What? I don't know. You'll figure that out for yourselves. The other Mrs. Mary Kabucha. The other Mrs. Is that the name of the book? And Mary Kabucha is the author? All right. There you go. But the other Mrs. is like, how many books are there about the other Mrs. Parrish?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, that's not bad.
Yeah.
I mean, it's dark and twisted. And
do you want to do our crimes?
Yes, absolutely. So we did Ohio.
Yes, because you couldn't think of a state, and I just blurted out Ohio last week.
That's perfect. That's perfect. Do you want me to go first?
Sure.
Okay. In June, an Ohio man named James Blankenship. Did you pick the same one? Okay. He decided to break into his mother's house in broad daylight. They had quarreled earlier in the year, and his mother had banned him from her house. Perhaps he wanted to get back at his mother for stealing some jewelry. Perhaps he wanted to take a nostalgic nap in his childhood bed. We'll never know, because the scheme was interrupted when Blankenship's mother noticed that her prodigal son was attempting to come back home. Upon being discovered by his mother, he fled the scene. So he gets arrested and but basically the point of the story is he didn't know you could get arrested for breaking and entering if it was in the daytime.
Yeah.
That's amazing, isn't it?
A thing that I read said, but it got weirder from here. Here's a Cleveland scene. A neighbor alerted the police that he had witnessed a man running behind a nearby home. Blankenship was discovered hiding in a crawl space not far from his mother's house. The accused told officers he didn't think he could be arrested for burglary because it was not nighttime. Unfortunately, as Blankenship really should have known, just because most burglaries seem to happen at night doesn't mean that burglary laws only apply at night. Why did Blankenship think this? Who knows? Maybe he had been given bad advice by an incompetent lawyer or another criminal. Maybe he had just seen the vampire movie Blade and had somehow forgotten vampires can only come out at night. He is to criminals can only be arrested at night, or maybe he's just sort of, I don't know, slow. This is from the article that I read.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
Try your own conclusions, but personally, I'm going to go with option B.
I just don't think if I'm running from the cops or from anybody, I'm not jumping in a crawl space.
No.
That is not where I'm going.
First of all, the things that live in crawl spaces. No.
Exactly.
So when we lived in Tennessee, speaking of crawl spaces, we had the DirecTV guy come and he had to go underneath like to do whatever wiring.
God bless him.
And so we kept hearing like these weird things at night. And like Mo, our old dog that passed, would run from like the air vents like in the grounds on the floor. And so he would run from vent to vent at night, freaking out in the middle of the night. And I'm like, what the heck? Yeah. Is somebody living down there? Right. It totally freaked me out. So this poor man, and he didn't speak much English. Mm-hmm. He comes beeline out of the crawl space, and we're like, what the heck? Right. And he's like, this big. And we're like, what's this big? What's this big? His hands are like 2 feet apart. And there was a huge raccoon in our crawl space.
Oh my gosh. Alive or dead?
Alive. Oh. That's what was running.
That's what you were zooming.
Yeah.
It was probably too chunky and couldn't get out.
So I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That was
crawl space is not going to be, if now that I'm putting it out there, that'd be a good place for me to ever hide, because people be like, she said on their podcast she would never hide in the crawl space.
I would not.
I really wouldn't. I know, I really wouldn't either. When we built our house, I helped go under and like do some stuff down there.
Oh, no.
And
nope.
See, the things I'll do sometimes, I just get roped into these things. I'm like, I got it. I'll clean out the gutters on the second floor.
Nope, that's not my job.
So the other day he was like, we need to go under the house and make sure that. Well, and we get our house checked every, so often for bugs and sprayed and stuff. And I'm trying to justify the fact that I'm going to have to go under the stinking house.
Nope.
I'll keep y'all posted on when and if.
He said like you don't want to go underwater, like the whole, right. Like that's like I will not go under a house. I don't want nothing to do with it. Yeah. No, that doesn't bother me. No.
But water where I am
like there could be snakes under there.
There's not, Steph. There's not any.
Thank you. I am good. Never.
I'll do that.
But our house right now is on a slab, so I don't have to worry about that.
Perfect. Solves that problem. Yeah. No problem at all, actually.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Do you got some dumb laws?
I do. I just have to go to my other Google tab.
Well, I will start then.
Please do.
Here's one I can get behind, and I like it a lot.
Okay.
So in Oxford, throwing a snake at anyone is illegal. And I 100% stand behind that law.
Yeah.
Because you throw a snake at me, but if I don't die from a heart attack, I will kill you.
Yeah, you will die from these hands. It's against the law to kill a housefly within 160 feet of a church without a license.
How do you get a license? Is it like a fishing license? Mm-hmm. You got to get a fly license?
You do. You have to go to the magistrate and you say, I need a fly swatting license.
Okay. Well, here's one for you. Mm-hmm. It's illegal to fish for whales on Sunday. What whales are in Ohio?
It's a great question.
I need to know this information.
Have you ever been paddleboarding?
No, but I really want to.
So I've tried it. My balance is not what it used to be, so I don't care for it much.
You can like go on your knees and just...
Yeah, I'll stay with kayak.
Okay.
I'll do better with that. But have you ever seen these videos of the paddleboarders and then like and then all I can think about is that they're getting the boats that are getting attacked by the orcas that we've been talking about. And I'm like,
did you see the one where the dude got like whacked by a dolphin? Like the dolphin came out of the wave and like totally just took the dude out.
No,
it was
great.
It looked like it was totally on purpose.
Go ahead.
But there was a kayaker who was kayaking in the ocean or whatever, and a seal came up and slapped him in the face with an octopus.
Oh my gosh, are you serious?
Rex, stop.
Rex is so excited. Yeah. He's like, yeah, girl, an octopus.
So the seal whacks the dude in the face with the octopus, and all you hear the dudes, like the video camera guys, he was like, was that an octopus?
I'm going to have to find that one. I'm going to have to find that one.
I showed it to Dylan. Dylan was like, no.
That sounds like a cartoon, doesn't it? My favorite new TikTok guy, I don't even know his name, but he narrates. Have you heard him? Okay, so he narrates from animals. So if like there's an animal video, he'll be like, "What you doing over there, man?" And I just laugh.
There's one of a seal or something that jumps on a boat.
Yes, he's like
away from the killer whales.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, and he's like, and she's like, "What am I going to do with you?" He's like, "You're going to drive the boat. That's what you're going to do with me." Yeah, that's great. If you need some chuckles, go find those.
Okay, here's another one. It's illegal to get a fish drunk. I want to know how that happens, and I want to see a drunk fish.
Do fishes drink?
I don't know.
I mean,
is fishes a word? Is it plural? Or is it just fish?
I have a lot of fishes. It's definitely fish. It's not fishes, is it? It's fish.
I don't know. I'm asking you.
It's fish. Do you want to come see my fish?
Fishes?
No, fish. Oh my gosh. Moving on. Any person who leans against a public building will be subject to fines.
Oh.
What if they just tire, bro?
Yeah. The Ohio Driver's Education Manual states that you must honk the horn whenever you pass another car.
I mean, what was so... Pay attention. They didn't... Was it? Whatever. I think this is going to be my last one, and I'm going to stop with this one because it's a doozy. Women may not wear patent leather shoes in public.
I did see that. Is it just women like over 18? Because little girls have patent leather shoes.
Yes, they have to stop at the day they turn 18.
I'm going to leave this one. This will be my last one.
Okay.
If someone loses their pet tiger, they must notify the authorities within 1 hour.
Oh my gosh.
How many people in Ohio have pet tigers? Is what I want to know. It's like they're like a big tiger population.
There must be. Reading all these just now, I had this epiphany.
We can't talk today.
Epiphany. I would not want to be in any kind of civil or law. What am I trying to say?
I don't really know.
I would not want to be in government to make laws or punish people or to come up with this stuff. Like, are you kidding me? We got to make a law about giving fish alcohol. Like, we really have to come up with that law now.
I would love to be in the room, like a fly on the wall, observing when somebody brings this up. Could you imagine, so it's probably a really old law, right? Like, had to be in the books for a long time. So there probably wasn't any women in the room. Right. But could you imagine being like the dude was probably drunk. It was like, let's make a law about drunk fish.
Yeah. Okay. Hiya.
Everybody in favor, say aye. Aye. Could you imagine being?
You could be a fly on the wall, just not with. They wouldn't kill you.
As long as you're within 100 feet of a church.
Oh my gosh.
These laws are wacky.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. I don't know.
Totally. So I'm terrible at thinking of states.
Okay. So we did Ohio. Right next to Ohio is Pennsylvania.
I think that would be a great one.
That's where I grew up. So I will love this one.
Okay, good. That'll be fun. Is the Matt Rife watch party this week?
17th, which is next Monday. No. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's 10th.
Yeah.
Okay. We need to, so I looked that up, but there's not a link yet.
Oh.
So.
He has his last one on there. It's like an hour and 15 minutes.
Oh, really?
Long.
You watched it?
I did not.
Okay.
I go on YouTube to find a new yoga video.
And Matt Rife popped up.
He sure did. Right there.
Listen, Brandon, I'm looking for a yoga video.
Matt Rife.
Yeah. Yoga. MATT. Yeah, so we can still make like an event on our thing. And then we can
figure it out.
Oh, my knee just popped.
I heard that was loud.
Can I take a nap here before I go to work?
Sure.
Jackson.
How long is his practice?
Well, today they're supposed to go till 10 because they've got practice and weightlifting. And he was just glad it wasn't leg day.
So tomorrow, Dylan starts his school practices.
Yay! What's his schedule?
I think 9:00 they have to be there. And I was like, "Ooh, you bet you need
you got to ride, right?"
Why don't you like contact some of the kids that live in this area?
Yeah.
And see if like we can do different days. Like
absolutely.
You know, like, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, like
right.
somebody each take a different day.
Is it every day?
Just Monday, Tuesday, Wednesdays right now.
Okay.
And then one of his best friends that moved to Utah last year, I think it's Utah. Yeah. He came to stay with us for 2 weeks last summer. So they still talk. You know, it's so much easier to stay in contact with people now, like with FaceTime and texting and all these social media
things. Yeah.
So they still talk a lot. And so he's coming to visit, I think the 28th. And staying for a week. And so Dylan's like, well, is it okay these dates? I'm like, well, that's fine, but that's the entire world championship week.
Yeah, dude.
So like you cannot, like hopefully he'll have his license by then. Because he takes his driving class on the 20th or something like that.
Yeah.
But I'm like we're going to be busy that entire, that's like our crazy week of the year.
That is cool. I'm glad that kids can stay in touch like that.
Yeah.
Because I was telling someone the other day, you go somewhere, you meet somebody when we were growing up and it's like, sayonara.
Yeah.
You hope to see him again, but you never know.
Maybe. Yeah. And then we had like long distance charges to call anybody back then. And
just don't write a letter.
Yeah. A postcard.
Yeah. Wish you were here.
So
good. I'm glad his friend's coming.
Yeah. So he's super, super happy about that.
Good.
Yeah.
When do they start school? Do you know?
I don't, like the 13th or something like that.
Yeah.
There's like a new student day. So that they can meet their teachers and kind of get like used to the campus or whatever. It's like an optional day. They don't have to go. But, and then I think on the 13th is like when everybody starts.
It's coming quickly.
It is.
I mean, that's just like 4 weeks.
Yeah. When does Clover start?
So freshman first day, because you know they did freshman first day the week before. It's August 3rd.
Ooh.
And I think that's a Thursday and it's half a day.
Yeah.
And they get pizza. Whatever. And then I think they're out that Friday and Monday and that following Tuesday's like the 8th or 9th, something like that. And then that's when they start. But then they they change their calendar this year.
Yeah.
Will Legion follow?
I don't think so.
Okay. So they get the week off in October and an extra week off in February along with their winter and spring breaks. But I don't think that's really applicable to athletes. So he won't go to school, but he'll still have practice and we can't go anywhere because we'll have games. Well, and I know like a lot of times the basketball team over that winter break, they'll do tournaments or they'll host, like one year they hosted Australia teams that were traveling. So I know, which I mean, it's really cool, but at the same time, it's like, so, I mean, we're at that stage of life though, I guess.
Yeah. I asked Dylan if he was going to do wrestling this year.
Yeah.
So first he said no, which was, like a month or two ago, but now he said he's thinking about it again.
Yeah.
But it depends on if he gets a job or not. Because I was like, well, if you expect to be driving, he's like, well, when I get my license, I'm like, you better start saving your pennies because gas is expensive, insurance, like in our house, like you have to earn what you get. Yeah. Not because we can't pay for it, but because he needs to know that things don't come, for free. We started that when he was young. When he wanted to go to camp, he had to figure out ways to earn some of the money. Yeah. Not all of it, but, a portion of it so that he knew
that some work goes into it.
Things aren't free.
Yeah. Yeah.
So he always comes up with ways to make money.
He's always been creative with that too.
Yeah.
He made the drinks.
Like a little keychain holder.
To hold the water bottle to the boat bag and stuff. Yeah, I still have ours. Okay, well, I think that wraps it up.
No. We said we wanted to read
we do.
We want to read a couple of
reviews.
Okay. So let's do that because we're going to inspire y'all to get to writing reviews for us.
Perfect.
All right. So this one is from Booger Poop is the name of this person. And it says, love listening each week, humorous and relatable. I look forward to Tuesdays when the new episodes drop. I've also read more books in the last month than I have in the last year. Thanks for the motivation.
Oh.
And I do think, it expands your reading or it inspires you to read. So we appreciate you, Booger Poop.
Yes, thanks, Booger Poop. I have one from Circus of My Own. The comedy these two ladies bring to light keep me laughing. I can't wait for the next week's episode to arrive. The dumb crook stories always make me laugh, and the recommendation reads are better than celebrity suggested reading lists. Never disappoint.
Ooh, we better than celebrities.
Better than celebrities. Oh, no, the header on that one was excelente.
Well, I agree.
We are excellent.
We are.
Okay, cool. So that's some inspo.
Please leave us a review. We love reading them. Yes. We read every single one that we get.
Yeah.
And it does help us out.
It helps with the algorithms and getting us in people's feeds and all that kind of stuff. So please subscribe on your favorite platform. Leave us a review.
Join our Facebook group. If you are in there, I did share our commercial.
I saw that, but I haven't had a chance to dig into it. So thank you for sharing it. I did see it though on somewhere. I might have saw it on TV or I don't know.
It was on CBS and it was on.
It might have been on CBS then because I was watching some things on there. So I did see it for real.
Yeah.
Saw your hair.
My hair.
Yeah.
With Navarro on the back. Yeah. You got to see my back.
Is that Dave Navarro's?
When we first got married, that's what people would ask. And my father-in-law's name is Dave.
Perfect. I hope you said yes.
I was like, no. Well, I said, I am related to a Dave Navarro.
Yeah, but not the Dave Navarro. So if you want to send us some book reviews too, we'd appreciate that. If you want to be a special guest, we need to.
Oh my gosh, we got to get those scheduled.
I know, because we've got several people that are interested. So we've got to get that going. Some slacking on my part, my bad.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, we get
life happens.
We'll do better. Yes. And thank y'all very much
for listening, and come back next Tuesday for another podcast. We thank you guys.
Thank you very much.
Subscribe, and we will talk to you next Tuesday.
Sounds good.
Bye.
Bye.